This is a Bobcat 873 G series skid steer. This machine belongs to my friend that runs the tree service, same guy that I worked on the wood chippers for in that one video. He asked me to kind of just go through this thing and get it back into a usable state. It's got a million little things wrong with it, but the most immediate problem is that neither of the control panels on the left or right have power to them. He suggested I should look at the fuse box. He thought it was that. I'm not exactly sure why, but I think he might have been right. Down here was a 25 amp fuse for the computer. I pulled it out, and it wasn't blown, but it was very corroded, as you can see. So I've got battery voltage on one side of that fuse, and then of course nothing on the other side, which you should. I tried installing a new fuse. For some reason that didn't work. I'm assuming the contacts in the fuse box must be corroded, but I did just put power to the other side with my power probe and got signs of life on at least this control panel with the key in it. So I'm going to keep fooling around with this a little bit and see if I can get power on both sides of it. I couldn't get the fuse to make good contact with the terminals for some reason, so I ended up just kind of bending the ends of the fuse a little bit. I think the terminals in the fuse block must be spread out or something, but that worked. Everything seems to be working fine now electrically. Let's see, put the bar down, turn it on, lights up. Let's see, got the lights, push to operate, that all works, and then the, well, there's no parking brake in it, but that doesn't come off until you start the engine. But yeah, it does crank with the key now. So yeah, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. I was about to reinstall the shutoff solenoid so that the engine will turn off with the key now that it turns on with it. But I noticed that one of the pins inside the wiring connector was broken off and was not going to connect. Fortunately, that was the ground wire, so I just cut the wire, crimped on a ring terminal, and I'm going to use one of the solenoid hold down bolts as a ground, like that. And that will save from having to spend $1 on a new solenoid. I noticed this axle seal is leaking, so I took the wheel off. You can see it's all covered in oil on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the hub off so I can hopefully get the seal out. There we go. There is some corrosion on the bottom of the bearing here and the axle tube that is kind of concerning. I'm not really sure how that would have gotten there other than, I guess, condensation that just sat there too long or something. Not really sure. I don't think water leaked into it. But anyway, the bearing is still tight and That's on the bottom, so it wouldn't really be under a load normally anyway. So I'm just going to try to clean that up as best I can and put a new seal in it, and it should be fine. Both the lift cylinders are leaking really bad, so I've got it blocked up on that side, and I'm going to take this cylinder apart and reseal it first. Put your foot like directly over this.
Like right here?
Like right here. Yeah, on top.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice.
Party. That is a really cool tool that I've never heard of before.
Yeah, it works really good for stuff like that.
it's no wonder why it was leaking. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the seal in there is just completely disintegrated. Totally dried out.
this bolt right here is broken off, and I think that's what's causing the throttle to be loose and not stay where you put it, which is obviously very annoying. So I've got a pair of vice grips on the back side of it, and I'm going to try to spin the rest of it through. I don't know if that's going to work. That didn't work at all, so I took all the bolts out of this panel and got it loose, and it kind of slides up and out like that, and hopefully that will give me better access to the broken bolt behind it. Okay, with that panel off, I believe I can fit this small pipe wrench on the back of the bolt here and grab it that way. Maybe. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Now it actually stays wherever you put it. Seems to anyway. That big piece up there looks all right from here. Yeah. That'd be all right. I believe you'd be all right with that. Yeah. will pretty much do it for his Bobcat. It does still have a small hydraulic leak that I think is coming from the lift and tilt circuit spools. But it's relatively minor. It can be run like that. It's a pretty decent job to reseal those, so we'll probably just ignore that for right now. Yeah,
Running good?
seemed fine. Other than that little leak out of the valve body, if that gets unbearable, we'll fix it.
There's a sensor in that seat sensor,
Oh, there is?
aren't there?
I don't know on that one. A lot of them there are, but I figured if there was, you bypassed it.
I think I bypassed it. I'm not sure.
Because you can drive it around without being in the seat.
Yeah, it'll sure jam it up. I took that brake out because I'd be riding along and all of a sudden they'd lock up,
Yeah.
knock the breath out of you, make you cry, break your ribs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
I never did wear a seatbelt in it.
You do want to be doing that.
I mean, I got the thing in the truck, the
Yeah, but,
bar,
well,
but I might come out of it for.
if you, on the 2-speed machines, if you bought it with 2-speed, it came with a 3-point seatbelt like a car. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I was looking at that in the manual. So I guess when you crash into something at full speed, you don't get hurt.
For dummy.
Yeah.